How can you memorize a word without understanding it? It's of no use. So first understand the meaning, understand the context, and then you can apply mnemonics as a way to remember what you have learned, as a way to hold it in your memory for a longer period of time. Hi everybody, how are you all? Hope you're doing great. So are you ready for another session of learning English with me? Well, today I'm going to tell you something through which you will be able to speak English fluently. You'll be able to improve your vocabulary and you'll be able to use lots of words when you speak. It'll be easier for you to use a variety of vocabulary when you're speaking, and that actually give rise to basically fluency in English. When you're able to use the words, when you're able to speak them out comfortably, that's how you become fluent. So are you ready for this? Well, I'm Shivangi Gupta, your CELTA certified English language tutor, and you're watching Speak English with Shivangi. Before beginning, please subscribe the channel so that you don't miss out any lesson. You get one video lesson on this channel every day. Please like the video and share it with your friends. So let's begin with today's lesson. What are we exactly going to learn? Basically, we are going to learn how to enhance your vocabulary, and one mistake that all English learners they do while trying to enhance their vocabulary, due to which they are not able to use it when they speak English. Because just memorizing vocabulary is not enough. Why are you learning vocabulary? So that you can speak English fluently, so that you can use it in all the necessary situations whenever you are required to speak something. But if you're falling short of words, what is the use of learning that vocab? So now what is that one mistake that you are actually making? That mistake is you're trying to memorize the words. Okay, do not memorize the words. That's what I would say. Do not memorize the words. Do not memorize the words. You should never memorize the words. Now this video is gonna have some steps, and I'm going to tell you what you do wrong, what you don't have to do, and what are the right steps. If you don't have to memorize, then what do you need to do in order to enhance your vocabulary? That's the big question. Do not worry, every question is going to get answered in this particular video, and you are going to know that one trick through which you can learn your vocabulary in a really enhancing way. Okay, number one thing is do not memorize. Now what do I mean by do not memorize? A lot of people, they find new words through word lists, through dictionaries, maybe through some kind of books, and what they do is they try to memorize it directly. For example, you take a word and then you try to speak the word in your mind 100 times, maybe write it down 10 times, and that's it. That's it. And you're trying to memorize it so much that yeah, you're able to speak it, you're able to remember it. For example, beautification. Let's take this word. So a person will speak it 100 times, write it in the notebook in order to learn it, memorize it. But tell me one thing, what good would this memorization do when you're going to speak it if you don't understand how to use the word? So memorizing is not the answer. The answer is the context, understanding the word. And then where would the mnemonics go? Because mnemonics, they are a pattern of memorization, people say. And I even told you in my recent video about mnemonics technique, basically a lot of mnemonic techniques. Now, how to apply them? Do not worry, I'm going to tell you everything. So step number one is that do not memorize. Do not just take few sets of words, then try to remember them, write them down, maybe just write them and their meaning continuously. Just look at them, read them and their meaning continuously in order to memorize them. Now, for an exam maybe that you're attempting, an MCQ, or maybe some kind of written exam that is based on vocabulary, just word meanings, this might work. But when it comes to use that particular word in your written English, spoken English, and maybe in any comprehension, you will not be able to use it. because you have not even understood the meaning completely and you have not understood how to use it with context. Now here comes the step number 2, that is try to understand the word with context. Okay, you have to learn the word with its context. Now what is the context? Context is the way you're using a word in a particular sentence, the way you use a word in a particular situation. So you have to understand the context. For example, let's take the word beautification, like I mentioned earlier. So this is not beautiful. This is not an adjective. Beautification is basically the process of enhancing anything that is already there. For example, if you're making your room more beautiful, that's beautification. Take the word marvelous. So marvelous is considered a synonym of very good, but marvelous is also considered a synonym of sometimes beautiful. But you cannot say a person is beautiful and marvelous in the same manner. Marvelous is something that you've done. Marvelous can be how you do things or how you have done things. Marvelous can be a situation. So context always differs. Try to understand the context of the word. Try to frame sentences and try to look at the example sentences of that particular word in order to understand how to use it. That's important. Now step number 3 is how to find these words. That's important. That is, you need to expose yourself naturally to vocabulary. Now how to do that? I have again and again told you about reading. I do lots of reading lessons with all of you where I tell you how you can locate vocabulary in that particular reading session in the paragraph. So the best way to expose yourself to the vocabulary is expose yourself to English content. And my favorite is reading. You can either read books, novels, fiction, non-fiction, storybooks, magazines, whatever you love, whatever you like. What is your preference? Read that. Plus, apart from this, you can watch English content. You can watch English movies. It will help you build up your vocabulary. Plus, why movies are great, why any video is great way to expose yourself to vocabulary, because through surroundings and action, you're able to grasp the meaning of a lot of words automatically because you have a visualization of things going on. So when you have a visualization, maybe through actions of the characters, maybe a physical thing that is kept there, you'll be able to understand what they mean. So there is this particular kitchen object, whisk. A lot of people confuse it with whisker. Now, if a character in a particular video is saying, I'm gonna whisk the batter for the cake today, and you'll see that particular object in the hand of the character, you'll understand, okay, this is called whisk. Automatically, you're understanding the meaning. That's why watching videos can be a great way to enhance your vocabulary. So you can watch movies, you can watch short movies, interviews, you can watch discussions about some things. So do this and you will be able to grasp vocabulary from the natural environment. So expose yourself to the vocabulary as much as you can. That is something that you need to do. Exposing yourself to the English, to the vocab. So if you really want to know how you can do this in a better way, how to expose yourself to English, I suggest check out this particular video where I'm telling you various methods to expose yourself to natural English, which will help you enhance your vocab and find you more words. Now let's move on to the last step. So the last step is, now you have exposed yourself to the vocabulary, you've understood the context, you know the word. This is the time you have to apply the mnemonics to it. Now mnemonics is something that you will apply after you have understood the word, after you have understood the context. How can you memorize a word without understanding it? It's of no use. So first understand the meaning, understand the context, and then you can apply mnemonics as a way to remember what you have learned, as a way to hold it in your memory for a longer period of time, as a way to make it even easier to use it when you speak. So that is how you're gonna apply mnemonics to it. Now you have applied the mnemonics. I would say that this is going to help you a lot because you know the context, you understand the word, you have used the phrases. At this stage, when you'll apply mnemonics, you'll be able to understand the vocab and you'll be able to remember it for a very long period of time, and you'll be able to use it easily whenever you speak. Now, a bonus tip for you. I have a bonus tip. So the bonus tip is that speak as much as you can. You have learned a few set of words, for example, 4 words in a day. You found 4 words through maybe movies, books, whatever was the source. You've understood the meaning, you have learned them, understood the context. Now try to use them when you're doing your speaking practice. That's the best way. If you don't think that you can use it in your speaking practice, just frame some sentences and then speak those sentences out loud. Speaking it out loud in a sentence with context will help you to understand it and also remember it in context, and you'll be able to speak it. Like you're becoming habitual of using it in your spoken English. You're becoming habitual of speaking the word naturally in sentences. That is why you need to use the word, speak the word out loud as soon as possible. When you learn, when you understand the context, you're learning new words, use them in your speaking practice. That is very important. And then try to use them in the real situation, real conversations too. That's essential. And do this and you'll become fluent real soon. So whatever you're learning, vocabulary that you're learning, understand the context and then try to use it. That's what you have to do. That's very important. So that's the end of the lesson for today. I hope you liked it. Please like the video and share it with your friends. Now I'm gonna see you tomorrow with a new lesson. Till then, take care and bye.